Opened its 28th season last night. This will be the final season with Robin Phillips in the role of sole artistic director. The theater is somewhat up in the air with management plans for next year not officially announced. Phillips has said he will trim $2 million from the $7.7 million budget for next year. This year's opening night crowd was treated to a magnificent performance of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, featuring Kate Reed, Brian Bedford, and William Hutt. Prior to the performance, local residents packed the driveway leading up to the theater entrance, hoping to catch a glimpse of notable personalities. Amongst those in the opening night crowd were former Ontario Premier John Robarts, along with Ontario Liberal leader Dr. Stuart Smith and novelist Robertson Davies. Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep have ordered tickets for later in the season. Striking workers with the city of Stratford were on hand picketing the theater entrance. However, they were all but ignored by the glittering crowd. This year, the festival has attracted more than 80 reviewers and press people from Canada, the U.S., and Europe. Festival officials are expecting this year to be their biggest season ever. The 1980 season will be the last of this magnitude in Stratford, with serious financial cutbacks scheduled for next year. Meanwhile, more than 6 million people will have the opportunity to see some of the finest theater performances in Canada, if not throughout the world. In Stratford, Dwight Ryan, TV 11 News.
For the Stratford Inside workers, members of QP Local 1385. They've been off the job since early May, asking for wage parity with the Woodstock Inside workers and the dental plan. Gordon McDonald is the QP national representative for the Stratford employees.
What we're looking for here is to close the gap between the city of Woodstock, and which is a similar size to the city of Stratford. We have employees here that are making $83,000 a year, and which represents about $4.44 an hour. In Woodstock, the girl doing a similar job is making $1.68 an hour more.
McDonald says ticketing the opening of the festival will inform the tourists of the problem. He feels a $90,000 grant recently given to the festival by the city of Stratford would have been better spent on its inside workers. Meanwhile, at the opening, the impact of the picketers seemed minimal, aside from the absence of the Royal Canadian Regiment pipes and drums. They usually lead the cavalcade, but refused to cross the picket line this year. Linda Richards, CKCO News, Stratford.
Unique weather this year, so all the dining after the matinee was inside. Stratford residents who didn't want to pay $30 for an opening ticket set up chairs to watch the free show as the theatergoers arrived. Other local residents decided to picket the opening. The City Hall inside workers are on strike and thought they could get some publicity with a picket line at the festival theater. They want parity with civic workers in Woodstock. Artistic director Robin Phillips, who has directed half of the 16 shows at Stratford this year, hovered at the entrance and chatted with first-nighters. Here he's talking to talent agent Madreen McEwen. Guests arrived in Rolls Royces and compacts, in limousines, antique cars, and trucks. Summer dresses were wrapped in furs. The celebrities were few and far between. Lieutenant Governor Pauline McGibbon had another engagement. Festival star Maggie Smith slipped in the back door to avoid the crowd. Ballerina Annette Hall from Montreal's Grand Ballet Canadien came in the front door with her husband, choreographer Brian McDonald. Last year, she danced during the opening night gala. Opera singer Ricky Tarofsky was there, and former Ontario Premier John Robarts squeezed in the limousine with his wife Catherine and 8 others. Actress Barbara Budd wore a hat and explained why.
Because usually I look like Airport 77.
I was there!
The trumpet sound at the beginning of every performance, and as the last guests hurried to their seats, the baseball game 100 yards from the theater continued. The kids were cool and blasé and ignored all the fuss and carry-on. Here at the Festival Theater, the curtain has gone up on first night. Actually, there is no curtain, but the performance of Twelfth Night has begun. One confused theater got his ticket at the box office, looked at them and said, "Twelfth Night? Jesus, I thought this was the opening." With the wind blowing through the banners behind you, it's like a windy night in the 1950s when there was a tent instead of a concrete theater here. Tonight, it's a party night. It's a social. All the people are dressed up in their finest. Tomorrow, it's the turn of the serious theater-goers. Here's the festival. I'm John Burgess for City Pulse.
It's a very entertaining evening. I think this shows a real winner. Bill Hutt can sing so well as he does. He should break a record.
I don't know. I mean, opening nights are vile, diabolical, and things go wrong, and they seem enormous in your own mind. I mean, I got a frog in my throat in the first scene, and I mean, I was quite...
The party that followed took place in the theatre foyer and was a time for relaxation and fun. Iris McGregor for Global News, Stratford.